pay attention to the things that people say and do in the beginning of relationships and friendships, because people often tell on themselves. So the things people say and tell you in the beginning and the things that they do are who they are. So if they're saying things like, I don't know if I deserve you, or if I don't know if I'm in the right place, or they're talking shit about other people, or if they are acting inconsistent or not interested or not like a great person in your life, they are telling on themselves. So watch. You do not want to get too attached and then overlook these red flags because of that. Start noticing what people are saying and doing because they are telling you what to expect from them. Are you listening?
Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Miss Kafue. So in this video, we are talking about people tell on themselves each time. You just have to be observant. Ladies, I don't want to make this introduction long, so I want us to jump right into the video and then I'll be back to give my take on it.
You are naive because you don't believe that people can be inherently bad. You still think that people need a justifiable reason to do harmful or painful things to you. But once you've seen enough, once you've seen that people's lives come to an end, not by strangers, but by the people they trust most, you'll realize that you have very little reason to trust anyone. Once you realize that, you'll get to a point where people can earn trust with you, but you don't just give trust to everyone freely because everyone doesn't deserve it. As children, we're taught not to trust strangers, don't go with strangers, but when we become adults, that concept is kind of just thrown out the window. We hang out with any and everyone. We bring strangers into our homes. We give strangers rides. I'm not saying that you should never do any of those things, but especially as a woman, you have to be extremely cautious doing any of this because naturally we are physically weaker than men. If you are neurodivergent, other women assume that mentally you are weaker than them because your brain is processing things differently. So either way, you have to get to a point where you let people earn friendship with you. You let them earn respect, intimacy, and trust with you. But there's absolutely no reason to just open yourself up to any and everyone.
I think I say this almost every single session with clients, but people tell on themselves all the time. So for example, if you're having your feelings and somebody says, oh my gosh, you're too sensitive. Guess who actually is too sensitive? It is the person who does not have the capacity to sit with you in your emotions. And something that can be kind of hard to process or understand is that people will only meet us with the level that they are willing to meet themselves. If somebody owes you an apology, but instead they are super defensive and doubles down with that. Now that can be very hurtful, but actually what they're saying is that I feel so sensitive or my ego is so fragile that I am not willing to look at what I possibly could have done wrong. Maybe I made a mistake, that instead I'm just gonna double down and say that I don't owe you an apology and I didn't do anything wrong and it wasn't my fault because I'm actually unwilling to go there myself. A big part of this is understanding who's in front of you. Of course, it is not okay and it is hurtful if somebody doesn't apologize to you, but it's also understanding if you're constantly going, say, to an emotionally immature parent for validation, connection, and support, when they are unwilling to do that themselves, all that's going to do is leave you in a place of constant hurt. Instead, you might want to look at who you go to for support, or you might want to consider healthy boundaries of who you're around if you're knowing that they're always going to show up the way that they are. And remember, listen to what people say. They're always telling on themselves.
Be mindful of the people that you are uncomfortable around. Be mindful of the people that you are naturally more quiet around. Be mindful of the people that you're more hesitant to share important information with. Sometimes your soul knows more than you know. Be around people that you feel safe with. Be around people that you feel free and open to just fully express yourself with no judgment. This is so important. I cannot stress this enough.
I let a person show me who they are. First time, I'm not going to judge you too heavy on the first time. Y'all see the butterfly, period. I love butterflies. First time, okay, maybe this is an isolated event. Second time, okay, this ain't an isolated event. This may be a character flaw. Third time, this is just who you are. This is just who you are. And who you are simply doesn't align with who I am or where it is that I want to be.
Pay attention to exactly what people insult you about. People will reveal how they feel inferior around you through their insults. I saw this one quote that said, they insult your intelligence, you make them feel dumb. They insult your morals, you make them feel bad. They insult your ambition, you make them feel lazy. You know what I mean? Like, people will reveal exactly where they feel inadequate and adjacent to you through where they try to bring you down. They feel inadequate, right? They feel down. So now they're trying to bring you to that level in that category. Look, I don't make healing content like I did before, but I'm still giving y'all the tea on how to navigate negativity. Change your mindset on all this toxicity stuff that be going on. When people try to bring that stuff in your life, change the way you look at it, okay? When they're trying to make you feel bad about X, Y, and Z, instead of fucking crashing out, think about it. They're showing you where they feel inadequate. Because there's no reason to try to make anybody feel any type of way about themselves if you are completely okay with yourself. I have no desire to make someone feel bad because I feel good about myself. Do I like have no insecurities? No. I have things I've worked through. Yes. But at the end of the day, I have grown my confidence through shadow work and things like that to really find myself. And I don't really have no desire to like spread hate or spread and like make someone else feel insecure. It's only when you have holes in your being, in your mindset, in your, in your confidence is when you start to try to fill those holes through the sadness of others. Why would I want to make you feel sad for if I'm happy? Think about that next time they say some bullshit to you. Love you.
Let me tell you something. People don't act weird all of a sudden. Hear me out. I've been through experiences where I've hung out with a person multiple times and then all of a sudden they act weird. But it's not acting weird at all. Because in hindsight, they never really liked you. They never really messed with you like that from the beginning. They just put on a front. And now they can't keep up with you to the point that they have to show who they really are. They can't hide the fact that they don't like you anymore. You have surpassed what their thoughts were. And now they're like, okay, I can't take this. I'm going to show you who I really am. So when a person all of a sudden acts weird, they're not acting weird. This is who they are. They're just showing you the true version of themselves. Listen to it. Listen to your instincts. Listen to your gut. And be mindful around these people. And if you have to cut them off, then cut them off. Nobody out of nowhere all of a sudden acts weird. Because believe me, I've been there in friendships and coworkers and classmates, all that, where a person was friendly the whole time and then they pounced on me in a millisecond. And I'm like, whoa, where did this side come from? But it was there all along. Let me tell you, it was there. We just didn't notice it. Or we just brushed off those behaviors that was shown to us. So it's just all about being mindful.
You want to know how to tell if a person has bad intentions? I'm going to tell you exactly how. This is what you do. Put them to the test. And the test is this. Play possum. Play dumb. Play stupid. Act like you're delusional. Act like you're oblivious. Act like you're weak. And the reason why is because a person with bad intentions will always try and take advantage of people in these types of conditions. But a person with good character, a person with good intentions will always work with a person or people to help them turn their weaknesses into strengths. They will work with them to actualize their greatness and their skills and their abilities and their powers and their purpose. A person with bad intentions will always fail this test because they carry through life a predatory mindset.
Narcissists always end up telling on themselves. The truth is always hidden in the lie with them. For example, my ex would always say that he couldn't have kids. I mean, this man swore up and down that he had a problem producing babies. But what he really didn't want me to know was that he already had a kid. So because he didn't want me to know he actually had a kid, his lie was that he couldn't have any kids. So when I actually did find out that he had a kid, he tried to deny it, saying, well, I can't have kids. So if the narcissist is telling you that they can't do something, or they're trying to deflect by pointing the blame to somebody else, that's their truth.
The one thing I've learned to stop doing is looking for certain things to come to my attention. Nate, what do you mean by that? I mean this. 9 times out of 10, when I need to find out something about whatever somebody else did or whatever it is somebody else might have said, most of the time, God has a funny way of just bringing it to my attention. As I get older, one thing I've learned to do is study behavior. And most times what people don't understand, your behavior is a dead giveaway. You might be a master of lying, but the one thing the body never does is lie to itself. And what I've come to learn is that some people give themselves away based off of a facial expression, how their body moves, what they said, how they say it, when they say it. Other times, I can learn the truth based off of a conversation I hear in passing. And it's not like I'm looking for whatever it is that happened or whatever it is I'm trying to find out with intent of eavesdropping. Most times how I find out whatever it is that's going on behind closed doors to me is based off of observation. So whatever it is that's going on behind closed doors, don't stress yourself out about whatever it is somebody might have said. It's always going to come out in some way, shape, or form. Somebody's going to talk about it, somebody's going to do something, somebody's going to move funny, and you're going to put 2 and 2 together. And it won't be even an assumption that you make. It's just something they do that is a dead giveaway. Which is why most times when I go to God about certain situations and I need to find out what is the depth of it, I don't need to do much. God oftentimes brings it to my attention based off of a number of factors. So I just sit and I say, all right, whenever it comes out, it comes out.
If you pay close attention to people, they're going to reveal themselves to you. Hear me out. A person will always tell on themselves. They're going to reveal how they feel about you, but all you have to do is listen closely. Pay attention. Be mindful around them. Those indirect comments, those shady comments, that playful shade that's been sent your way is not playful at all. Listen to people. Take heed into what people say. Pay attention to their mannerisms. Pay attention to how they react to you. When you tell somebody, a friend, a family, whoever, about your accomplishments or your goals or anything you're trying to do in the future or whatever, pay attention. How do they respond to you? How do they react? What do they say? Do they question everything you do? Do they have little indirect side comments? Do they put you down or try to downplay anything you do? All you have to do is be mindful. Because people can't wait to show themselves. People can't wait. And then once they show themselves, they're going to be like, are you going to keep me around so I could do it again and do it again? People love to be wolves in sheep clothing, but they love to show you that they can be a wolf. Pay attention.
One thing about it, our intuition might tell us a joke, but it will never tell us a lie. It will never tell us a lie. When they say if you get around a person and you feel butterflies in your stomach, but it's not butterflies, it's anxiety, they were not lying. There is somebody that I have to spend a considerable amount of time around, right? And every time I get around this person or I know this person is coming around, my body and my soul and my spirit just gets weird. I just feel weird. And I used to think like, okay, maybe I'm intimidated by this person. Maybe this person makes me nervous. Maybe I like this person. Maybe I'm in love with this person. Like, what is it? I don't know what it is. But come to find out, this person is just a liar. Like, they lie for a living. The way I was able to figure out they were a liar is I allowed time to reveal all truth. I would just sit back and let this person tell on themselves. Like, I was like, you know what? They're gonna show me who they are eventually. I don't know what this feeling is, but I'm gonna just sit back and watch. But I used to feel so bad because I'm like, man, I'm not being authentic. I'm not being myself around them. Why am I shrinking myself? Why am I feeling weird? Like, this is not okay, and I gotta figure out what it is. Turns out it was them the whole time. The easiest way to develop discernment and listen to your intuition is to just take time and watch people. Let them be who they are. And don't get me wrong, there's a time, there's a place, there are certain environments that we have to act a certain way. So I'm not saying be inauthentic, but if we get around certain people and something just don't feel right, something doesn't sit right with us, time will eventually reveal everything that you need to know. If your intuition is saying don't go, don't go. If your intuition is saying don't fuck with this person too much, don't fuck with them too much. If your intuition is saying you need to maybe just be quiet, maybe just sit back and relax, sit back and relax. Because that's not butterflies. It's not love. It's not infatuation, bitch. It's some weird ass shit going on.
If you let a person talk for long enough, they will tell on themselves. You don't have to put them in the hot seat or ask them a million questions. All that's really gonna do is push you further away from the truth. I'm telling you, the easiest way to catch a person slipping is through casual conversation. You know, that small talk, those lighthearted jokes. That's when the most details and clues tend to come out. But when you try to interrogate them, they are going to go into performance mode. And an actor never forgets their script when they know they have to perform. It's when they don't have to perform that the script can be forgotten. So instead of shoving a million questions down their throat, just let the dialogue flow. The truth tends to appear the most when you stop searching for it. Now, love you, I'm out here.
Pay attention to how people treat you when they think they're winning and you're losing. During this Mercury retrograde, there's going to be a lot of people whose mask will fall off. Meaning, I want you to pay attention to people when they think that you are in a situation where you don't understand what's going on. Maybe you're newer to something. Maybe things are not quite working out the way you thought they were because Mercury retrograde, there's a lot of glitches and whatnot. And pay attention to the people around you who think they have one up on you, or maybe you think they have one up on you. Pay attention to how people treat you during these moments, because during this Mercury retrograde, people are going to show their entire ass. What I mean by that, because that Mars is in Leo, people they're gonna be really feeling themselves. Their ego is going to be inflated. Maybe your ego is going to be inflated, and so people are going to be more bold, more like ruthless, more. They're not going to be as empathetic. And especially if they think they have one up on you and they have some hidden like jealousy, or they've been hating on you, really, like they the ops for real and you didn't know. All you have to do is pay attention to people's actions. So collectively, the advice of this Mercury retrograde is to sit back and watch. Take a breath before you respond, because you may be the person operating in your ego. But we're breathing, we're watching. Because what people don't realize about a Sagittarius is that a Sagittarius clocks everything. And this is for my people who are still here with me. As a Sagittarius, right, the energy is that you go out and you see how different people live their life. You explore different religions, you explore different thoughts of learning. Higher education is represented by Sagittarius, like long distance travel is represented, astrology is there, religion is there, right? So you're trying to get to the essence of why do people do what they do. That means as a Sagittarius, you understand a lot of why people make the decisions that they make, and you understand why like one person may choose to do something else completely different. That is a level of empathy. And empathy means I understand where you're coming from. I don't have to agree, but I understand. But because Sagittarius can be very optimistic and like very bubbly, people often mistake that as unaware, not clocking the details. And because the Sagittarius moves very quickly, people really were like, oh, they're not paying attention. And because the Sagittarius avoids emotion, avoids conflict, unless you like force them to be in it, people often mistake thinking like they're not going to say anything. But if you've ever cornered the Sagittarius, if you ever forced them to have the conflict with you, then you regretted that decision. Because you find out just how much detail they understand. You find out just how much they were watching, how many things they put together, and how they will read you. And so during this Mercury retrograde, my biggest advice for you is to watch people. Don't try to point it, just watch them. Watch how they treat you. Watch how they act if they're winning or if they're right or whatever the case. When they feel like they're up, watch how they treat you, how they respond to you. And take some breaths, reflect, which is going to be opposite of the Sagittarius energy, but take a moment as much as you can before you decide how to act, because you too can fall into this ego and into like acting before, like responding before you think things through. But this Mercury Sagittarius, this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, people are going to be showing their complete ass, and you are going to find out things about people that you're like, huh, fascinating.
Let me tell you something. Watch the people who's always criticizing.
Watch the people who's always criticizing. Yeah, excuse my broken nail, I wear press-ons. Watch the people who are always criticizing you, because sometimes they say, oh, it's constructive criticism. But if you never have anything good to say, is it criticism at this point? Or is it just you trying to put me down and diminish everything I do? I hate when people say, you can't take constructive criticism. And it depends on the person who's giving the criticism. So if you're a person that doesn't have good energy with me, why would I accept anything from you? And I'm not going to listen to your opinion, because when there's 1,000 no's, there's always that one yes. Just be careful who gives you that criticism all the time.
You might meet a girl and y'all click, and you don't realize y'all are clicking because she is giving you all these compliments. She's not really trying to love bomb you, but she really, oh, I really like your hair. Oh, I need to do something with my hair. Oh, your body looks so good. I need to get on that treadmill. Oh, girl, your car is nice. I need to get like you. And they're saying it in a joking way, and they're hyping you up and stuff. And you're like, she is just so sweet. She is such a vibe. She is just amazing. Person is constantly putting you up there, and they are constantly putting themselves down. When you are constantly putting yourself down, constantly speaking negativity on your life, on your body, on your situations, it does something to you mentally, especially if you was already insecure. And that's the reason why you're doing it. It makes it worse. So then the person is going to start to realize, like, dang, she just don't quit. This is just literally how she is. And those compliments are going to turn to, oh, girl, your body look nice. I can't wait till I slim down. But when I slim down, I still want to have a butt back there. You see the difference? Before, they was just giving you compliments. Now it's compliments with criticism. Ooh, your car looks really nice, but I think I'm gonna get an SUV, but one that's better on gas. They're always going to humble you as they compliment you, being nice, nasty. So when women keep complimenting you and then comparing themselves to you, that is the biggest red flag. That's all you need to know. Ooh, girl, your eyebrows look so good. See, I've been meaning to go get mine done. Every time y'all hop on FaceTime, ooh, girl, excuse my hair. Ooh, girl, excuse my house. Oh my goodness, your house is so pretty. Mine is so dirty right now. They're talking good about your situation and bad about their situation. I'm trying to tell you, eventually they're going to get sick and tired of hyping you up and tearing themselves down, that they're going to have to tear you down to build them up. You're welcome. And this is important, okay? Because I know how some of y'all are probably looking at this video right now. If you go over to your friend's house and she's like, girl, ignore that laundry over there on the floor. I have not gotten to it. That's normal, okay? But if she's saying, ignore that laundry over there, I haven't gotten to it. I know at your house, like, you don't ever have nothing on the floor. It's spotless over there. That's what you got to watch out for. It's okay, you know, to be a little embarrassed, you know, like, girl, you know the kids. Like, just ignore all of this. But don't compare your situation to your friend's situation. And a lot of people do this because they feel like you are going to judge them because they got you on a pedestal. And if they were in your position, which is up here, they would be judgmental. This is why they assume that you think you're better than them, because if they looked like you, or if however they have you in their head, if they looked like that and they were that, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. They do it to themselves. They think you're going to be judgmental. So that's added stress on top of their insecurities. They feel like you're going to say something negative, and they start beefing with themselves. Like, girl, I'm over here to get away from my kids. I don't care what your house look like.
So this is something I didn't want to be right about, but life is continuing to prove to me that I am right. I don't know, maybe this is just me, but I'll tell y'all my story here. So I've only had 2 serious romantic relationships in my life. I would say, you know, like college and on is what I would say is serious. And so in the first one, I remember during the early stages of our relationship, he made this really, really big deal about like yeah, like me and the men in my family, like we would never cheat on our women. It's just such a taboo thing, and it's just something none of us believe in. Like, we're the most loyal group of men, blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, that's what ended our relationship. And then in my most recent relationship, he really was super adamant in the beginning about, like, I'm gonna always be honest with you. I will always be honest with you. Continued to, like, make that, like, the hill he was gonna die on throughout our entire relationship, right? And then come to find out, when he was breaking up with me, he kept being like, it has nothing to do with my feelings for you. Those feelings haven't changed. I just really need to be single and I need to be alone for a little while. Lo and behold, he was telling other people that he actually had started to lose feelings for me and doubt the feelings that he had for me. And he's basically already pretty much dating somebody else. And he started talking to her a few weeks after we broke up. We dated for like 2 years, So essentially my takeaway here is that in the talking stage to early dating stage of a relationship, whatever your partner is like, I'm this, or I'm gonna be this, or I'm not this, is actually what they are, and likely what will end the relationship ultimately. And that's so weird to me, because when I'm with somebody, I don't feel the need to make statements like that. Like, I don't feel the need to be like, I'm gonna always be honest with you, or I'm never gonna cheat on you. Like, I just am those things. And I've really, like, taken account of those relationships and, like, of everybody that I've ever cared about. And I have never actually said something that I don't mean to anybody in a serious relationship. Like, in my last relationship, he was constantly saying things like, I choose you. I'll choose you every day. I want to be with you for a long time, like, yada, yada. But the thing is, like, why'd you feel the need to say you choose me when you're not going to choose me? I never once said I'm going to choose you. I just did it. It was just my actions. I never needed words. Anyways, I just think it's really weird. Anybody else relate?
Toxic people. I mean, they're quite smart, aren't they? Because they're highly manipulative. They're really strategic, and they've got loads of different tactics and methods to get their way, like to get what they want. But I think they're quite stupid as well, because, well, they're really immature. And I really think that once you get to understand these types of people, and you understand the subject of emotional abuse, you really begin to notice how often they're just telling themselves. It's like, if you listen to their language and listen to how they speak to you, you'll notice their toxicity. You'll notice how they speak about other people. And by God, your body you begin to listen to your body. You start to notice how these people make you feel, because they'll either be draining you or your fight or flight response will be switched on. But let me share with you a number of examples that I think will help bring clarity to somebody out there that maybe you're a bit confused just now by somebody's treatment of you. And let me rest assure you, you'll not be wrong and you'll not be the problem. It's just they would prefer you to think that you're the problem. So when you're around a toxic individual, you'll notice that you never know what version you're going to get, right? But one day they're lovely, the next day you'll not know what you've done. You'll notice that a toxic individual never owns their shit. Like, they never take accountability for their feelings, for their mindset, and you tend to find that they will be projecting onto you an awful lot about what you're thinking, what you're feeling. It's like they know you better than yourself, like what your intentions are, like you're always this, you never do that. And what you find is when someone is projecting onto you things that you know that you have never done and were never even thinking about, then that is a clear indication that they are confessing to you unconsciously of all of the things that they've been thinking about you and all of the things that they've been doing to you all along. You'll notice that a toxic individual very rarely apologises, and if they do, it'll be a poor show of an apology. You'll notice that a toxic individual will make you prove yourself. It's like they will make you choose them over someone else, or they'll make you choose them over you doing something else. So if you are interested in doing something new and they felt that you were putting them out, that you were leaving them behind, by God, they will be guilt tripping. If you were choosing to spend time with a friend, or you wanted to have a relationship with someone else that they didn't like, by God, they'll be guilt tripping you. So therefore then you'll probably be feeling fear, because you know that there'll be an argument, there'll be a fight, there'll probably be giving you the silent treatment or stonewalling you. And therefore then you feel obligated to actually go along, to get along with this individual. That person is toxic. Healthy people never do that, right? You'll notice as well, a toxic individual is never truly happy with your happiness, with your success. You notice that they avoid the conversation. They really don't like to celebrate you or anyone else for that matter. So therefore then they'll either be belittling your happiness or your good news, or they'll be stonewalling your good news. They'll not be listening to it. And you'll notice that they are good with your hard times though. They like that, they'll revel in that, but rest assured they will not be there for you emotionally in your hard times, right? So why? Because, well, that's your job. You have to be there for them emotionally, but not the other way around. You'll also notice a toxic individual will leave you hanging in conversations, right? They will not pick up the phone to you. They will get back to you when they choose, and it's a way to control and to dominate you, a way to instill fear. They'll do that through text messages. Maybe you've started a conversation and all of a sudden you're now getting stonewalled and ghosted or whatever, and you're starting to feel fearful, and then eventually they get back to you a few days later because they were so busy or whatever. Now, I, of course, understand that people are busy, but I do not believe that people are too busy to get back to people when they've started conversations, or if the person is really important to them. So I think when people are behaving that way, it is a clear indication of the lack of importance in how they see you in their life. Pay attention to that shit, because that's where trauma bonding can start, and that's a form of sort of breadcrumbing and manipulation to sort of keep you involved in the relationship. That's not normal. You'll also notice that a toxic individual are the like Premier League deflectors, right? If you're attempting to hold them accountable, or you're taking a concern to them, watch what happens. All of a sudden you'll find yourself defending yourselves, because then they'll be blaming you and holding you accountable for the way that you're speaking to them, to your body language, to your gestures, to your tone. And instead of us being able to stay focused on the point that we were bringing to them, now we're defending ourselves, and we're now focusing on your behaviour. And that was all an attempt to get you away from the problem itself, which means then we have an unfinished conversation, which probably means then you've got a whole pile and a whole bunch of other unfinished conversations with that and this individual that really needed to happen. So, always remember, pay attention to how they speak to you, how they speak about other people, and pay attention to what your body's saying about these individuals, right? Because you'll either be feeling fight or flight, or you'll be feeling drained by these individuals. So, I hope that helps, and take care for now.
So if there's something I've gotten from this video, is that people don't need justifiable reasons to do bad things to you. That really stuck with me from this video. Trust me, people don't need any reason whatsoever to do anything bad to you. So you have to watch out. And if you're very observant, you'll notice how people behave towards you, what people do. Like you'll notice the shift in their energy, their body language. All those things can give a person away. Trust me, if you watch out, you'll always catch the signs before it's too late. And I agree with the fact that you should act very dumb to discern such things. And always pray for the spirit of discernment. Always pray for the spirit of discernment. Always pray that your eyes may be open. They may see these things. And also be mindful of what people joke about when they insult you by jokes. Be watchful what people are saying. Be watchful. Some people may insult you through jokes. And most people do it, which is very annoying. Most people do it. And people can't wait to show themselves. Just let people tell on themselves. Give them a chance. Watch out. Watch how they behave. Watch how they treat you. Watch what they joke about. Watch what they insult you about. Just watch out. People will always tell on themselves. And let me tell you, keep a small circle. The smaller your circle, the harder it is even to get angry. The harder it is even to fall out with anyone, get into arguments, exchange this negative energy even with some of their bad friends. It's so peaceful when you don't have a big circle, because there's no way you can tell me you have 10 friends and they're all your friends, or even 3. I'm hardly even finding one loyal friend. Like, how the hell do you guys find 15, 20 friends? Like, I think those are just people you know. Those are not really your friends. Those are not really your friends. If you are to assess them, those are not really your friends. So always let people tell on themselves. And by people, I don't mean like other people. I mean even your family members. I mean even the closest people, your colleagues, everyone. Like, let people show you who they are. Let even those partners you're dating show you who they are. And when someone shows you who they are, believe them for the first time. Don't wait for them to do something so unimaginable so that now you can believe them. Trust me, people can't wait to show themselves to you, and people don't need justifiable reasons to do bad things to you. If there's a statement that has stuck with me from this video, it's that one. And something else that was really eye-opening from this video is the fact that we have these people who compliment you and then they hate on themselves. Watch out for those ones. That's something I've learned from this video. And then always watch out for the people who think they have like an upper hand on you. This may go for friends, family, everyone. This applies to everyone. Watch out for those people. Even some of you, even your partners, when they are doing better than you financially or in any other way, they tend to treat you bad. Watch out for those people. People don't suddenly act weird. That's who they've been the whole time. It's just that the mask had not fallen. They couldn't wait to let the mask fall off. So watch out. Especially as a woman, you really have to watch out. As women, we have a lot to lose. You really have to watch out for. Snakes are everywhere. Snakes are everywhere. And there's this quote I go by. Hey, there's this quote that says, "I've been loyal to snakes, so it's hard to impress me." Trust me, most of us have been there. We have been loyal to snakes. So we have gotten to this point whereby even if you do what for us, you tell us what, like it is entering one ear and going out from the other ear, because we've seen a lot. People don't always do what they say. People are not who they claim they are. Most people are self-proclaimed nice people, and that's so annoying. Like, you don't have to proclaim yourself as a nice person, as a nice friend, as a nice boyfriend, as a nice who and who. You just have to let someone see who you are through your actions. So watch out for these people. And I don't agree with large friend groups. You may find out that all those people are against you. We saw what happened to Shanquella Robinson. Please watch out. Watch out for people. Watch out. And don't put people in a hot seat, like by asking them questions. Why did you do that? Do you really love me? Is that how you feel about me? Are you a loyal friend? Trust me, they go to performative mode. That's something else I've learned from this video. You just have to let them be. Let them behave how they are behaving. Just open your eyes a little bit more to catch those like small things here and there. They'll always show you. Trust me, they'll always show you. They'll always forget to stick to the script at some point. So it will slide and you'll see it. You have to catch it before it's too late. Some people have lost their lives because they didn't catch these signs. They were not discerning enough to catch these signs. Also, like I said, also pray for the spirit of discernment. Because out here, sometimes you need it to discern people. People can really be like chameleons. They change. They give you this image that is not a true image of themselves, of their character. So be very careful out here. And something else. Do you remember when we said as women, we really have to be selfish? Now this applies to everyone. Even to your friends, to anyone who's coming close to you. Let them earn your trust. Let them earn your good graces. Even if they're friends, even if they're whoever, let them earn your trust. Don't just be there like giving your energy away even to friends, even to who. I've noticed even some women will come to you complimenting you, listen this, and then they try to get close to you. Me, I'm always very skeptical about such women because I believe there's something you've seen in me that you want from me. You cannot just be my friend just for free and we are strangers. So be very careful, especially of those women who tend to compliment you. Oh, you're so pretty. And worst of it all, they downplay themselves. For example, you're so pretty. I wish I would have done this and this to be pretty like you. See, that's where the problem is. So be very careful about such people. So ladies, in this commentary, I'm sure you've been hearing some background noise. There's some construction going on. I'm so sorry about that. But please bear with me. So ladies, I don't have much to say in this commentary. But I hope your week has started off good. My week is going good so far. It's Monday. And I'm looking forward to a very productive week. And ladies, please have a nice week. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye.